What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about the DCEU. Now, I know we have some DCEU fans that watch this channel and are subscribed to this channel, and I respect you. I don't agree with you, but I respect you. I respect where you're coming from, to an extent anyway. I don't like the DCEU, but my frustration with the DCEU and all of the arguments I've had with the DCEU fan base, I've learned to appreciate a lot of you because of the arguments I'm having with the sequel trilogy, specifically The Last Jedi Defenders in the Star Wars universe. So understand that I'm coming at you with respect, okay? I'm coming at you with respect. But the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Aquaman is about to pass $1 billion. Aquaman is about to pass $1 billion. Let me say that one more time. Aquaman is about to pass $1 billion. Why did I say that 3 times? Because we had a Batman and a Superman movie together on screen for the first time in the golden age of comic book movies. And it couldn't even break $900 million. Why? Now, you can try to blame it on Rotten Tomatoes all you want, but that has nothing to do with it. Aquaman's sitting at like a 60-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I know BBS had like a 27, and honestly, that's a little too high. I know you're really mad at me right now, but that's honestly too high. Batman v Superman was a garbage movie. Utter trash. Don't even make me start. Don't even make me start. But, it was the fault of the movie. It was the fault because if you look, the proof was in the pudding with Man of Steel. Man of Steel started out, and Man of Steel is one of my most anticipated movies ever. The trailers for Man of Steel are still some of the best trailers I've ever seen. Henry Cavill was a great Superman in terms of casting. I loved the look of the movie. I loved everything they were doing. I loved that they darkened Superman's suit a little bit. I didn't really have a problem with any of that. And I loved the first 45 minutes of Man of Steel. Man of Steel opened up to a really strong opening weekend. Very strong opening weekend. And then word of mouth wasn't that great. It didn't really inspire the audience. And suddenly it didn't have the legs that they anticipated it would have. And Man of Steel, I think, ended up with about $650 million, which, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't what they were expecting it. And then BVS came out. And again, a movie with Batman and Superman in this age of comic book movies, when it can't break $1 billion, you know we have a huge problem on our hands. And then we get Suicide Squad, which Suicide Squad made money too because the trailers were fantastic. Everybody thought it was going to be Guardians of the Galaxy and the DCEU, and it just it didn't really do very well in terms of the audience response, even though it did make a lot of money. Then we move into Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman was my favorite film of the year, along with Dunkirk in 2017, and Wonder Woman was fantastic. And now, then with Justice League, so no need to even talk about Justice League. And then we get Aquaman, and we have it right now. It's been proven that that version of Batman and Superman was not working, did not work. It was a failure. Yes, I'm calling it a failure. I don't care if you want to say, but Jeremy, it made 800. I don't care what it made. It didn't bust $1 billion. When Guardians of the Galaxy can bust $800 million, but Batman and Superman on screen in this current climate of comic book movies can't bust $1 billion, that is a failure. Plain and simple. And there's a reason why it was a failure, because it was a crap movie. And don't bring the ultimate cut to me either, because that's basically just 30 more minutes of shit that I didn't like. I watched the ultimate cut. It's like, hey, Jeremy, hey, this is out-of-date milk. Why don't you have some of this? And I try. I'm like, this is terrible. They're like, oh, well, let me add another half a gallon. Then you may like it. No, the ultimate cut sucks. I don't need 30 more minutes of shit I don't like. So both versions are bad. Just accept it, okay? It's okay to like a bad movie. But where I'm at with this now is that hopefully DC can finally get it. Maybe they can look at it and go, okay, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, we have a template that can work. What I would suggest is a soft reboot of this universe, because there's no way you can get rid of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. There's no way you can get rid of Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You can't do it. Can't do it. Ben Affleck's Batman sucks, And I understand that bringing a Batman into this age was kind of difficult because the Nolan trilogy was so successful, and you couldn't really play off of that Nolan Batman, so you had to bring a new Batman, so you go with the Frank Miller-esque Batman, and I totally understand that. But Ben Affleck just wasn't a good Batman. He just wasn't. And I love Ben Affleck as an actor and as a director. He just wasn't a good Batman, and there's too much uncertainty surrounding Affleck as Batman with everything that's going on. You need to get rid of Affleck. You just need to get rid of him completely. I hate to say get rid of Henry Cavill, and I honestly don't want to get rid of Henry Cavill, but we've got to figure out something. Something's got to change with him. Something's got to change with Cavill's Superman. And I don't know exactly how they can pull that off, but definitely Batman's got to change. And maybe you can kind of do a soft reboot, and maybe we can start from here and start building up from Wonder Woman. Build up from Wonder Woman, you got Aquaman, then maybe we can bring another solo Superman movie out where it actually has Superman and not Jake Kent, because that's pretty much what we got in Man of Steel, Jake Kent. And start over a little bit from there, bring a different Batman into this universe, and try to establish the characters that way, and then let's build to another Justice League. Just do some type of X-Men Days of Future Past or something so we can kind of forget Batman v Superman, we can forget Man of Steel, we can forget the Justice League, we can forget Suicide Squad, and we can just build upon Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I know that it's not gonna. I know that there's this passionate Snyder fans out there that are gonna hate what I'm saying, and you need to understand. I don't hate Zack Snyder. I respect Zack Snyder. I think he's a damn good human being. I think he's a good dude. I think he handled the insane criticism like a champ, like a grown man. I love Watchmen. I love Dawn of the Dead. I respect 300. I think Zack Snyder is a really good filmmaker. I just think he is not what the DCEU needs. His vision did not work, and that is the bottom line on it. Again, I don't know if they can pull this off, but I hope that they just look and see, okay, we have done an incredible job of establishing Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and we need to build upon that. How they can do that, I don't know, but I would like to see Cavill hang around as Superman. But they need to change things up with his Superman. We need him to be more like actual Superman and not Jake Kent. We don't need Jake Kent. We need Superman. So, Clark Kent, we need that version. And please, for the love of humanity, get rid of Amy Adams as Lois. She is terrible. I don't care if you bring Terry Hatcher, whatever she's, what is she, 60 years old now? Bring Terry Hatcher into it. I don't care. Anybody but Amy Adams. And I like Amy Adams, not as Lois. She was a terrible Lois. A terrible Lois. So the DCEU has life. It has life. Are they going to listen to what the audience is giving them now? The audience is showing you what works. Again, we live in a time where Aquaman made $1 billion when Batman and Superman in the same movie couldn't pull out off the same number. If that is not proof of how bad that movie was, I don't know what is, but it is proof, and either you're gonna have to accept it or you're not. Now again, DCU fans, I hear you. I know you're angry at me, and I understand that, but again, I respect you. I respect where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, we have the numbers. They are right here in front of you, and you can accept them or you cannot accept them, but that's what they are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.